In this video we are going to take a closer look at not one but two Wii knife Ziffius. So the Wii knife Ziffius was released quite recently, but despite being a new release, it's kind of hard to get your hands on one. They tend to sell out rather fast, and I guess it could be a couple of different reasons for that. Well, one being it is a pretty cool design. Second, it was awarded with production folder of the show over at Texas Blade Show. And well, third, this is a limited edition or limited run. So there are 6 different versions in total. 2 Damasteel versions, which I have here on my table, and there are also 4 versions with satin finish CPM 20 CV. So the Damasteel versions I think were made 110 of each. I will find the exact number once we unbox it. And the 4 different CPM 20 CV versions, I think they made 310 of each. So it is, I mean, in Wii numbers or Wii knife numbers, I would say that is kind of limited numbers, providing an explanation why the knives sold out or is selling out quite fast. And before we do some unboxing, I'm gonna say that, it's been some time since I last made a Wii knife video for my channel, and the reason for that is because I found many of the models released like the last couple of years, I don't think they have been really, intriguing or interesting or exciting. They have been lacking in some sense. I think many of the knives have been quite similar. In some sense, it's hard to really put your finger on, but I haven't been too enthusiastic about what the Wii knife have been, putting out the last couple of years. But having looked now at, the absolute most recent releases and what's coming up next, I think they are taking a step in the right direction, and I appreciate that a lot. So before we proceed here, I'm gonna do sort of a regular unboxing, I would say, and I'm gonna start with. The main difference between these two are of course the handle and the scales. One being in carbon fiber, one having more of a flamed titanium integral spacer. Both knives have integral backspacers. So, but one is made of titanium, flame titanium, the other of carbon fiber. They will also have quite a bit of different patterns, I reckon, on the Damasteel blades. Buying a Damasteel knife is always a little bit of a gamble. You might get some really cool, fancy, extraordinary looking, Damascus pattern, despite not, being true Damascus. But you might also get some, less exciting patterns as well. So we're gonna see what comes out here. I hope they have picked, some good Damasteel blanks for making these, high-end folders. And my voice is acting up a bit. I've had a cold for a bit, so I'm just recently getting back into the video recording game. Anyways, let's do a bit of an unboxing here, shall we? So we're gonna start by unboxing this one. Let's see if it's visible. Yeah, you got some information there stating that this is the black titanium handle with flame titanium integral spacer, Hakkapeliitta Damasteel blade. Well, here it actually says limited edition, 150 pieces. So I said 110, so I was off by 40 of each. So 150 of the Damasteel versions and 310 of the regular ones. Let's start by removing this, whatever you call this. Got some Wii knife limited edition. And we continue with the very same Wii knife limited edition. Can't, write it out too many times. So here we are greeted by a certificate of authenticity, which should somewhere state the serial number of my specific knife. So this is, I just said what it was, serial number 107 out of 150. And it is genuine and authentic. Well, that's pretty good to know. We also got some specs here, but I'm gonna go over that later in the video. I have also probably already posted it in the beginning of the video. So, but this is what the certificate of authenticity looks like. with this little silver thing here, stamp. We have some silica gel, always good to have. We got a sticker of a Elijah Isham design. This is the Arrakis, right? I actually don't own this knife. Then we got some We Knife Company. Read this before opening the knife. Okay, introduction, instructions before use. Well, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and skip that. Maintenance, warranty, yeah. Got another, is this a sticker? Yeah, this is probably a sticker with some, you know, the We Knife logo and some love your new knife. Yeah, I sure hope so. Share your experience to let the world know. Okay, yeah, I'm doing it right now, I think. So we got this piece of cloth, the very same type of cloth that I got with my very first We Knife many years ago. So it's probably a winning concept, right? Oh, it's a good cloth. And then we have this this pouch, and I like this, you know, this pouch. It's simple, but it's, you know, very functional. It fits 2 knives, so that's always good as well. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have both my Ziffius in one of these pouches. So let's open this one up, shall we? To reveal the knife itself. There's nothing more inside, no? No spare parts. That is something that I would perhaps like, that I've started to enjoy with some other knife companies, manufacturers, the inclusion of spare parts. So let's take a look at the knife itself. So this is what the Ziffius in this version looks like, with that Damasteel blade and the integral flame titanium spacer. I'm gonna say right away that, I mean, while flame titanium does look pretty neat, I would have much more enjoyed the knife if they went with, you know, Damascus instead. I think Damascus looks, well, about 100 times better than flamed titanium. Yeah, it would be a more, you know, expensive option, but the knife is already expensive as it is, so maybe they could have gone, you know, with some, you know, all-around premium materials. Not that this looks bad in any way, but it just, I feel like it is almost a bit over the top, or a bit too much, to be completely honest. Yeah, you can see here the pocket clip is obviously in flame titanium as well, and also the the pivot collar here is also in flamed titanium. Might be a little bit harder to see, but yeah. So this knife is a button lock design, obviously. Here is the button, and it's a flipper and thumb stud operated knife, but you can of course open it by just, you know, pressing down on the button lock. As simple as that. I like flipper tabs, so I'm gonna open this up using the flipper tab. We're gonna try everything out, of course, but let's see the overall action here. That is kind of snappy, and now we get to see the blade as well. So this is the shove side of the knife. You can see the more wavy curly pattern on top here, and then it goes into a bit more, I'm not gonna say straight lines, but a bit less, you know, curvy, or like that. Let's take a look at the flip side, because it can be quite different from the shove side. So going like this. Yeah, so on the flip side here, then the non-shove side, we see more of this, you know, yeah, I'm in lack of better words, because English is not my native language, but there's a bit of a different flow here on the non-shove side. This is what people would say is in general the better looking side, and I kind of agree. Although I did kind of like this side as well, to be honest. But it's what I would have liked to see is a bit more. Once again, I'm lacking the words. It's not really. I want to say symmetrical, but I like when the different sides have a bit more in common. You know, it feels more like one blade. Now it feels like a bit like 2 different blades on one knife, if that makes any sense. but both sides do look quite good. And the flipping action was nice. Let's see how the closing action is now. Very nice. Let's try the thumb studs. Very snappy as well. And I guess we could just open it up by doing like, oops, like that as well. So you have a few different opening options, so to say. So this is what this version of the Ziffius looks like. With its Warncliffe blade. Large finger choil. I like a finger choil that actually, works. I mean, if you do start making knives with semi-large finger choils, why not, go all the way to actually have a fully functioning finger choil like this. Bit of jimping on top here. The ergos on this knife is actually quite nice. I feel like this knife is more, reminiscent of the old Wii knife that I used to love when they dared, make some more interesting and exciting designs. And great ergos. Reverse grip as well, for those that would, ever utilize that. I do like that it feels like an integral, but it is of course not a real integral knife. It's just the integral backspacer, but it gives a feeling of an integral. Please, Wii knife, if you're watching this, do make a few, nice integrals like the Wii knife Tyke, which I really loved, and the Wii knife 702, which I also really loved. Those were some fantastic integrals. Or make a 604, but a real integral. Yeah, let's take a look at the other version as well. So here we have the other Ziffius. Let's take a look once again, if we can get this in focus, like this. So the grey titanium handle with twill carbon fiber integral spacer, Hackapella Damasteel blade. And I'm gonna bet that the general packaging is going to be quite similar to what we just saw. So once again, remove that thing here, remove the part, and then we have yet another certificate of authenticity. Well, that's a good thing. It might mean that my knife is genuine and authentic. This one is serial numbered 109 out of 150. Yeah. We got the same sticker, same instructions that we're not going to care about, some silica gel, the, whatever this was, and then this piece of cloth, and then the pouch here. So let's take a look at what we have here. Get out of the plastic wrapping here. So this is what the grey titanium with black twill carbon fiber integral backspacer looks like. So this knife got a totally different look to it compared to the other version we just saw. And that is why I found it interesting to get them both. I also didn't know which one I would like the most. So carbon fiber integral backspacer, flame titanium pocket clip. Also got the flame titanium pivot collar here. I really do like that they went with this with the flame here, because it goes well together with the black and the gray. I also like the blue, anodized lines here compared to the golden anodized line on the other version, which I actually failed to comment. But the gold does go well together with the black handle, and the blue does go well together with the gray handle. So this is a aesthetically pleasing knife, or both of them, I would say. And the Damasteel blade does look quite nice, but as we know now, we also need to flip it open to fully, get a view of the blade. So really snappy, nice opening action. This is the shove side of the blade. Quite a nice look to it, nice pattern. and this is the non-shove side. So the two blades, the two sides of the blade here, they do look quite similar, which I find to be nice. I guess that people would say that this is probably the better looking one out of these two knives, when speaking specifically about the Damasteel. I do like both versions, but like I said, I like it when they are when they share, you know, more similarities each side here, and that is the case with this specific Ziffius. So a nice closing action. Let's try the thumb studs. Yeah, really snappy. And we can go like this. Yeah. Overall, yeah, I really like what I see. I like what I feel. Glad I picked both up. I wouldn't have mind going with the 20CV version as well, but like I said, it might be, you know, difficult to find one. I mean, it will be restocked, I'm sure, but like I said, the quantities are limited. Let me pick up the other ones so we can take a look at them side by side. So here we have the two different versions. It's getting crowded here on the screen. Not super easy to fit them together, the way the camera is set right now. But yeah, I mean, which one is the better looking one will of course be, you know, pure personal preferences. And I mean, if you're gonna spend this type of money, you will probably get the one that, you know, speaks to you the absolute most. Then again, the case could be that they are sold out and you might only be able to get one of them. Perhaps the one you do not really want, but then it will be the way it is. Both of the knives look nice in my opinion, with this one having a slightly nicer Damasteel blade. But like I said, it's gonna be a lottery. You don't know what your blade is gonna look like until you get the knife in your hand. Unless you can get the people at the store to take a photo of it or shoot a short video. But then you take out the element of surprise, and that's, I mean, well, it's kind of exciting, right? Unless the knife looks like shit and you have to return it. So let's do like this, so we can take a look at the different blades. And once again, which one looks the best? Yeah, it's gonna be, you know, well, depending on what you personally like the most. I think we should take a look at the specs now. So yeah, let's go over the specs. Time to crunch some numbers. So we've got a total length here of this one at 221 millimeters, so 22.1 centimeters. Should tell you that the knife is, well, it's not a really small knife, perhaps not the largest either. I would classify it as a medium-sized knife. We've got a blade length of 94 millimeters, giving you a lot of, you know, cutting edge to mess around with. We've got a blade thickness of 3.2 millimeters. So it's not the, you know, the thickest of blades, but it's not the thinnest either. You know, somewhere in between. Makes sense for the design, I would say. We've got a close length here of, I believe it's specified at 128 millimeters, so 12.8 centimeters in closed length. The weight of this version, the flame titanium, is 137 grams, and the carbon fiber version, I believe, is 117 grams. So it is obvious, of course, that the titanium integral backspacer makes the knife slightly more heavier, 20 grams heavier to be precise. So if, you know, weight is a main concern for you, you want it as light as possible, then you should of course go with the carbon fiber version. So titanium, Damasteel blade, but also offered in 20 CV, which is equal to like M390 and what's the carpenter steel called? Is it a CTS 204P? Yeah, I believe so. Bottom lock, flipper and thumb studs. No blade play. I was gonna say no lock rock, but I mean this is not. I mean this is a button lock, so it is not, you know, of any concern. I wear a size 10 in gloves, fairly large hands. Placing the knife in my hand, looks like this. Plenty of space. Got a bit of jimping here on the top. Not super aggressive, but not as smooth as either. Feels quite good and, you know, secure, I would say. So on this Warncliffe, you got a bit of a swedge grind going on as well. Might be semi-difficult to see on this Damasteel. Perhaps easier to see on another version. But it is a swedge that's, you know, thinning out here. It does go to a pretty thin tip here. Yeah. Full finger choil, like I already mentioned, and using the finger choil together with the jimping here does feel quite nice. And as I mentioned before, like if you want to go reverse grip, that feels pretty good as well. Yeah, I think that's it for the specs, right? Oh, if I didn't mention, it's a full flat grind, regardless of which version you go with. So centering, perhaps. Let's take a look at the centering. So the centering on this one, let's see. It's gonna be difficult, I can feel it. So the centering on this specific one is 100%, it's spot on. We can look at the centering on the other version as well. Let's put this one aside. So here's the carbon fiber version, and the centering is, let's see, yeah, it is 100% spot on, dead centered. Let's check for blade play on this one. No blade play on this one. So I would say that the, you know, overall the fit and finish of both these versions are spot on. I mean, it did get the production folder award of the show at Texas Blade Show, and I guess for, you know, for good reason, right? I do like these blades a lot. I hope we will see more interesting designs from WeKnife. I also like that they went with the Hakkapeliitta Damasteel for this version, or this knife. They tend to use the Heimskringla Damasteel, which can look quite good, but I really do prefer the look of the Hakkapeliitta. Once again, it's just, you know, pure personal preferences, nothing else than that. I mean, a lot is about personal preferences in the knife world, but fit and finish is quite objective, I would say, though. And, you know, materials used, like, yeah, going with premium materials like titanium or nice carbon fiber versions, Damasteel, CPM 20CV, etc. Is there something more I want to say before we end this video? Yeah, are the knives sharp? I do not know, and we should probably find out before we put an end to this video. Need to get myself a newspaper. I'll be right back. So I went and grabbed a newspaper, and I usually cut a lot of different types of paper, but now I went directly with what is usually, you know, the toughest challenge in terms of paper, and that is newspaper. And yeah, let's try it out now, shall we? I will say that Damasteel is not a steel that was made only to look good. It has a lot of nice qualities to it. It's stainless, it has pretty decent edge retention, pretty decent toughness. I mean, it is a good steel made to be used, not only to be impressed by or looked upon. This is a user steel. But I kind of doubt many of these knives will be heavy users. Anyways, let's see if it will slice the newspaper. Let's see here. Yeah. So it does seem like it is sharp. And that's a good thing. I like knives that are, you know, actually kind of sharp. Let's try the carbon fiber version as well. This one seems to be, you know, pretty sharp as well. Yeah, both knives are definitely sharp. That's a good thing. I mean, even if you just want to look at them and, you know, play around with them, it does feel nice to know that they can slice newspaper, because, well, that's the most important thing to use a knife for. Anyways, I think we are through with this video. I'm not gonna do a whole lot more. I feel like it's better for me to make slightly shorter videos and get them, you know, posted and published than to, you know, feel like I need to make really lengthy videos and then only publish a video like once every 3 weeks or every month. Better to, you know, to just get some content out there, especially with knives that don't have a lot of, you know, screen time to begin with. So, the Ziffius Damasteel version. Over and out.